Strict budgeting is the primary reason most people stay financially stagnant. While the average earner spends hours tracking $3 coffee purchases, the truly wealthy focus on a singular, high-leverage metric that renders spreadsheets obsolete. This shift in perspective is known as the anti-budgeting method, a system designed for high-performance individuals who value time more than pennies. By the end of this analysis, the mechanics of automated wealth will be clear, demonstrating how a simple 20% allocation rule creates more net worth than a lifetime of coupon clipping. The data suggests that financial freedom is not about restriction, but about the strategic flow of capital. The traditional approach to personal finance relies on willpower, a resource that psychological studies show is finite and easily depleted. When an individual attempts to track every line item on a bank statement, they induce decision fatigue, leading to a total abandonment of the plan within 90 days for most households. The IRS reports that the top 10% of earners do not manage their wealth through friction, they manage it through systems. Micromanaging small expenses provides a false sense of control, while the larger structural costs, like interest rates and tax inefficiencies, continue to erode the bottom line unnoticed. Consider the math of a $5 daily habit versus a single negotiation on a mortgage or car loan. Saving $5 a day nets less than $2,000 annually, whereas a 1% difference in a $500,000 mortgage results in over $100,000 in savings over 30 years. This obsession with the small creates a cognitive trap. People feel productive because they check their banking app, yet their net worth remains tethered to their inflation-adjusted salary. The anti-budgeting method removes the psychological burden of these trivial choices to focus on the macro variables that actually move the needle. Data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics indicates that as income rises, the complexity of spending increases, making manual tracking nearly impossible for high-earning professionals. Without a shift to an automated philosophy, these individuals often fall victim to lifestyle creep, where every raise is met with an equal increase in overhead. But here is where the strategy shifts from defense to offense, moving away from the restrictive nature of traditional accounting toward a more aggressive, results-oriented framework. The core of the anti-budgeting method is a concept known as paying yourself first. Instead of spending and then saving what is left over, the process is inverted. A predetermined percentage of gross income, typically 20 to 30%, is diverted to investment accounts before a single bill is paid. Once this target amount is removed from the liquid pool of capital, the remaining 70% can be spent with zero guilt or tracking. This creates a psychological ceiling on spending, forcing the individual to live within the remaining balance without the need for a line-item spreadsheet or daily monitoring. Economists refer to this as Parkinson's law, which states that expenses rise to meet the level of available income. By artificially reducing the available income at the start of the month, the anti-budgeting method leverages this law to build wealth automatically while the earner is sleeping. For a household earning $100,000 annually, a 20% allocation results in $20,000 of invested capital per year, compounded at an average market return of 8% over 25 years. This single automated habit results in nearly $1.5 million in total value. This system works because it removes human error and emotion from the equation. When the transfer is automated through a payroll system or a standing bank order, the capital never enters the temptation zone of the checking account, ensuring consistency regardless of market sentiment or personal motivation. The data tells a different story about where the real money is lost, however, and it is rarely in the entertainment or dining categories that people love to criticize. Real wealth is preserved by controlling the big three expenses: housing, transportation, and taxes. These three categories typically account for 60 to 70% of the average American's total annual expenditure, according to national consumer expenditure surveys. An individual following the anti-budgeting method knows that if they optimize these three areas, they can afford to be reckless with their grocery list or leisure activities. If housing is kept below 25% of gross income, the financial foundation remains stable regardless of minor fluctuations in other areas. Transportation is often the largest hidden drain on wealth. Depreciation on a $60,000 vehicle can cost an owner nearly $700 a month in lost equity alone. By opting for a reliable, pre-owned vehicle, that same capital can be redirected into income-producing assets. Furthermore, the tax implications of how capital is handled are paramount. Utilizing tax advantage accounts like a 401k or an IRA can effectively provide an immediate 20 to 30% return on investment through tax savings, a benefit no amount of couponing can ever replicate. When the big three are optimized, the need for budgeting disappears. The system becomes self-regulating. The individual isn't asking, "Can I afford this meal?" but rather, "My housing-to-income ratio still under the threshold?" This is the hallmark of professional financial management. But the true power of this method isn't just in the money saved. It's in the speed at which that capital begins to multiply through the power of automated compounding. Financial maturity is reached when earned income is slowly replaced by asset-based income. The anti-budgeting method accelerates this transition by ensuring that investment contributions are never skipped. This consistency is the secret behind the overnight success of the world's most stable portfolios. Historical data from the S&P 500 shows that missing just the 10 best trading days in a decade can cut an investor's total returns in half. Because the anti-budgeter is always in the market through automated monthly contributions, they never risk missing those critical windows of growth. This approach transforms the individual from a consumer into a capital allocator. Instead of viewing a paycheck as money to be spent, it is viewed as raw material for a wealth-building machine. This psychological shift is often the difference between the middle class and the wealthy. Studies on high-net-worth individuals reveal that many do not actually know how much they spend on groceries or entertainment each month. However, they know exactly what their savings rate is. They prioritize the input and let the output take care of itself. By removing the friction of manual budgeting, the earner frees up hundreds of hours over a career. If those hours are spent increasing one's primary earning potential or developing new skills, the return on investment far exceeds any amount saved by tracking a monthly electric bill. The ultimate goal is a state of financial autopilot, where the system produces wealth regardless of the individual's daily actions or fluctuating willpower. The most effective way to build wealth is not to manage your spending, but to manage your systems so that your spending becomes irrelevant. If this changed how you think about capital allocation, the next video breaks down the specific asset classes used by the top 1% to hedge against inflation.